What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a very fun series of battles. Buckle up, grab some popcorn. This is a battle submission from Mispa29, and they hit rank 90 on the leaderboards, global leaderboards, with 3,300 rating, and I'm sure they got a bit more. But it's going to be Drapion, Scrafty, and Jellicent here in the Ultra League, and they're up against my buddy Caleb Pang here in Game 1. So this should be a very entertaining video, and also very educational for those of you wondering how the top players battle. This is going to be a great showcase of the decisions that they make and what it takes to be the top in the world. Alright, getting into the first battle. Let's see how this goes. We get Drapion versus Tentacruel here on the lead. So this is kind of good for the Drapion because you're going to be resisting those poison jabs while still being able to do quite a bit of spammy neutral damage with Crunch. Now, Tentacruel in the Ultra League is pretty deadly. You got to watch out for it, and it's extremely tanky as well, and it does have that nice neutral charge move of Scald, which it recently got a few seasons back. So we're going to see that Scald land right here. Drapion doesn't need to worry about it too much, but they did get the attack drop, which is pretty unfortunate here, as Crunch now is going to be doing less damage. So let's see how they decide to play this out. Yeah, Tentacruel now looking to be taking the advantage here, but thankfully, oh, we see a beautiful swap now into Cobalion here from Caleb Pang to catch the charge move, as Crunch is going to be heavily resisted, and we will see a counter swap now into Jellicent. This Jellicent is also running Bubble Beam right here, so they're going to go ahead and throw that, but unfortunately not able to throw it on the potential Stone Edge, as they will look to no shield the first one, and it is going to be Stone Edge. So now they're locked in with Bubble Beam, which is fine. If they can get a shield here, that'll be really nice, which they don't. Caleb decided to let it go, but now Stone Edge is going to be doing a lot less damage, and they can freely go for Shadow Balls here because they can easily survive the fast move damage and the charge move damage from Stone Edge. So Shadow Ball does land. Caleb doesn't really want to give up any shields just yet in this matchup. They'd probably rather come in and load up on energy with whatever their final Pokemon is, or maybe even Tentacruel. And there's the swap out. We see the counter swap now into Trevenant, so they're going to go ahead and build up to Shadow Ball and look to go for Bubble Beam. This is what makes the OG Jellicent so deadly, is that right there, getting forced to shield a Shadow Ball when you can get hit with a Bubble Beam shield attack debuff, which is devastating. A Shadow Ball now is not going to be enough to take out the Drapion because of the attack drop from Bubble Beam. So Crunch here is going to be putting even more pressure now, getting two shields from the Trevenant and getting the defense drop. Scrafty is now primed to come in and potentially sweep this game, as Tentacruel is relatively low and Cobalion is relatively low. So if Scrafty plays this right, I think it's looking to be a good game. Seed Bomb, yeah, not too much damage. Here comes that Tentacruel. It does have a bit of energy as well, so we got to watch out for that potential Sludge Wave coming through. Scald as well is going to do a decent amount. So here, this is where you basically got to give up shields. It could be Acid Spray, but I highly doubt it. It is going to be the Scald right there. Yeah, just trying to force some shields, and they can easily just farm down right here. They're going to counter swap now into Jellicent, catching the charge move, which is beautiful. So now it's going to be Cobalion versus Scrafty here in the back. And let's see how they play this out. Trevenant is still alive, so they got to be careful about that. Cobalion as well might have a little bit of energy here. So let's see how this plays out. Trevenant is going to come in, going to go ahead and throw the Seed Bomb, and this is very dangerous. Scrafty needs to play this very carefully because they need to have some energy on the back end in order to win this. So they're going to go ahead and go for the foul play right away, but if I remember correctly, actually, Cobalion is pretty low, where they're going to win with counter damage. Yeah, they should be able to win with counter damage, so that's going to be a good game, very well played. That was about back and forth, and now we're up against Dunebug. This is some heavy-hitting battles right here. All right, we got Alolan Muk here on the lead. So both Pokemon, same typing. I would probably give it to Drapion, though, because of the ability to spam Crunch and have that potential debuff here. Whereas there's the defense drop. Whereas I mean, this could be an Acid Spray, but yeah, it is going to be the Acid Spray. That's really the only play, is to go for that Acid Spray so that your poison jabs do more and more damage. Now, unfortunately, Drapion here can't do neutral damage with Aqua Tail. They opted to run Sludge Wave, or Sludge Bomb, I should say. But overall, this is still looking pretty good, as Crunch is going to be able to outpace, as they're at 2 Acid Sprays now, or this could be a Dark Pulse. But they're only at 2 charge moves, whereas Drapion's now throwing the 3rd. And this is where things get very dangerous, where Drapion is low enough where Alolan Muk could potentially shield and just farm down. But it's going to be a matter, another defense drop right there. I think the Drapion can get to the charge move in time. Yes, they can. No! The Muk gets to the charge move. Oh, that is so unfortunate. They got to let it go through. Acid Spray will take them down. They can come in with Jellicent now and load up on energy, and this is a good call because it's resisted damage and Muk won't be able to get to another charge move in that time. You can get a lot more energy as we do see a mirror fight come in. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and go for the Bubble Beam right away, having built up to Shadow Ball, which is really, really important, and we got a no shield there. So that's a huge no shield by Doombug as they're now going to look to throw the first charge move, and this is where things get very dangerous as this could be, okay, I was going to say it could be a Bubble Beam, but it is going to be a Shadow Ball, so that's a good shield right there. They're going to go ahead and go for another Bubble Beam. Doombug, do you fall for the second one? Let's see. No, just no shielding everything. Doombug. Oh, man. Calling every single one. Here comes the Shadow Ball now, and this is where he will likely give up a shield. Let's see if they decide to. No! Decided to no-shield it! Oh my goodness! Jellicent here should easily be able to survive. They're going to go ahead and double shield now, stopping that next Shadow Ball and farming down. And it's going to be a Dragonite in the back. This is extremely dangerous. Dragonite can easily load up on energy and take out Scrafty with the superpower. But thankfully here for Jellicent, they can go for Bubble Beams to apply those debuffs so it doesn't do as much damage. So this is going to be a very interesting endgame. We're going to have Scrafty lined up, and they do get a shield right there with Bubble Beam. They're going to go ahead and swap out now into Scrafty, and this is where things get dangerous. Dragonite could go for Superpower, but the thing is it's already Bubble Beam debuffed. And if they go for Superpower, which they're opting not to, it's not going to be enough to KO, which means Scrafty is actually going to be able to counter down a Flying-type Pokemon. This is so dangerous here. They're going to go ahead and go for the Foul Play. They do get the final shield, and this, I think, is looking to be a good game. I mean, Superpower from a Dragonite in the Ultra League. Let's see if it's going to be enough. No, Scrafty hangs on way too easy right there. No, they get to another charge move. Dragonite able to hang on and get to a Dragon Claw. No, another Superpower. So now it's going to be a race between Dragon Breath and Bubble Beam. Oh, they get to the Dragon Claw. Oh my goodness. Is it going to be enough to KO? No, it is not enough to KO. Dragonite got hit with 2 Bubble Beams, 2 debuffs from Superpower. It's -4 on its attack, and because of that, Jellicent is able to survive and win with 0 seconds remaining. What a close battle right there. But it just goes to show, down 2 shields, Bubble Beam can flip that around for you. What a good battle. All right, we got Drapion versus Shiny Wheezing right here. Galarian Wheezing. This is a beautiful Pokemon. Well, actually, it looks a bit toxic. Anyways, we're going to be seeing the Sludge Bombs come through right here because of the Fairy typing. It's going to be neutral because of poison, but they're going to be forced to shield as it is going to be an overheat right there. That would have done a ton of damage, and the attack drop is pretty nice here, as we'll likely see a swap out after this Sludge Bomb by the Galarian Wheezing. Nope, they decide, yeah, there's the swap out. We're going to see the Shadow Wallrain come in comes the Scrafty, doing what it does, coming in, loading up with Power Up Punch to ramp up its damage, and basically steamroll through a team right here. So they just need to worry about that potential Earthquake. It can do a lot of damage in this matchup, but since they already gave up 1 shield, they're going to look to no shield, and it is actually just going to be an Icicle Spear right here. So now they can go ahead and look to commit to the farm down as they can survive this next one. Now, the cool thing about Galarian Wheezing coming in on the back end right here is it has Fairy Wind as a fast move, which means it's going to be able to farm down pretty quickly for energy. So Scrafty needs to unleash a charge move here as quickly as it can to just get any chip damage possible. And now this is going to be a tough endgame to come back from, because there is a Jellicent in the back that is down a shield. We don't know what that final Pokemon is, but it could be a counter. And they're going to go ahead and swap into Jellicent to catch the charge move. If this is overheat, which it is, that's heavily resisted. What a huge call. And now it's going to be a Jellicent mirror, and that's a shiny Jellicent as well. So they're going to go ahead and go straight Shadow Ball in this situation. So their Drapion is primed. They have energy. They're going to have even shields now, and they have access to Crunch, which is beautiful. So they're going to go ahead and go for the Bubble Beam. Here comes the potential Shadow Ball, and they're going to let it go. This is the opportunity where you have to safely let it go. As Shadow Ball now, yeah, it does KO right there. All right, Drapion coming back in, has to take this one. We'll have to see if it's going to be a Bubble Beam or a Surf variant, maybe even Ice Beam, but my guess is going to be Surf or Bubble Beam here on Jellicent, from the opponent's Jellicent. So they're going to go ahead and let it go. Nothing can one-shot here. The last hard-hitting move, it is going to be Surf, actually. The last hard-hitting move is going to be Overheat from the Galarian Wheezing. So they got to save the shield for that, and they need to get this Jellicent out of there. And this is why that Surf update was so good for it in a lot of neutral matchups. Now we see a swap out back into Wheezing here, but remember, it's out of energy. And will it give up a final shield? Yeah, it will give up the final shield. Can they get to the crunch in time? They do. So now it's going to be a race between Drapion and Jellicent here. I think Drapion's going to take it as they... Oh, okay. I thought I survived right there. They should be able to get to the crunch in time before 2 Surfs come through. Yeah, so Drapion able to sweep this team. What a beautiful I absolutely love using this Pokemon in the Great League. I'm sure a lot of you do as well, but still got to work to build mine up for the Ultra League. But really good battle right there, and just a power play. I think ultimately the key to victory there was catching that Overheat on the Jellicent, right? That was beautiful. All right, we got Drapion now versus Shadow Dragonite in the Moonlight. Here we go. We got Dragon Breath shredding through, Weak Connection coming in, Go Battle Lag in full force. This is what you call the full experience of Pokemon Go PvP, as they're going to go ahead and go for the crunch. And it does land. Dragonite looking to let it go through. But Dragonite is deadly, everyone. Superpower can one-shot here. Dragon Claw cannot. And they're going to call the Dragon Claw bait, which they do call correctly, which now allows them to get off another crunch, putting more pressure here on the Shadow Dragonite to potentially give up a shield, which they do. They're going to go ahead and commit to the farm down, which is fine with Drapion. They can now come in with Jellicent and load up on energy with Hex. They don't have to watch out for Superpower, right? That Ghost typing is going to be resisting it, so the only hard-hitting move here is going to be Dragon Claw, which honestly doesn't do that much, as we see a Cobalion now come in, and they're going to go ahead and go for Shadow Ball. So this might beg the question that there could be double steal in the back. If we saw a Dragonite and a Cobalion here, you need something that is a better answer to Fairy-type Pokemon. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Galarian Stunfisk or Registeel here in the back, as Stone Edge is going to go ahead and go through. And I think that's exactly what Mispa here is going to be reading. They are probably hard reading a double steal in the back, as they do get a shield, forcing Cobalion now to throw its energy once again. Saving all shields for Scrafty. Yep, saving all shields for Scrafty. Unleash it. That's a hard read right now of double steal in the back. They have to give up a shield here on the Sacred Sword, but they should be able to farm down with counter, I think, before we see another charge move come through. And it's actually going to be a Jellicent in the back, so not what I thought it was going to be in terms of steal, but still something that Scrafty can handle, as the foul plays here are going to be doing super effective damage. I was going to say, as the super effective damage are doing foul plays. I was mixing it all up. It's fine. Scrafty is going to be taking this one. They just really need to watch out. The hardest hitting move left in this game, I think, honestly, is the Superpower left from Dragonite. And Dragonite does have a little bit of energy, but I don't think it's enough for Superpower, so Scrafty just has to bank it right here. Has to fully farm down. Don't worry about Surf. Now, the question is, how much health is there on that Dragonite? Because it might be able to Dragon Breath down. That's what worries me right here, but they are going to be able to counter down. Cobalion as well has a little bit of health, so this might be a very, very dangerous endgame. Cobalion is going to go ahead and come in. The Dragonite comes in, and they counter down, able now to get to the foul play here to take out Cobalion. That was a sneaky swap in with Dragonite to try to catch foul play. So that is a good battle, very well played. Scrafty ultimately able to sweep. All right, moving to the next one. We are only like a third of the way through here. We got Dragonite once again on the lead in the Moonlight. The Go Battle, you see that white spinning ball? Do you guys see it at the top over there? For those of you that are somewhat new, that is that's the game telling you it's trying to keep up and keep your connection going. It's the Go Battle lag. Spinning ball of death, basically. So we'll have to see if anything spicy happens this game. But ultimately, this Dragonite now decided to shield early, whereas before we saw them shield later. So they're clearly wanting to get rid of Drapion, which is a good tell that something in the back might be weak. Oh, double shield! They definitely want to get rid of this Drapion, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got something weak to dark types in the back, or that poison typing, the Sludge Bomb. So maybe a fairy type Pokemon, which is going to be interesting. We'll have to see. Might be a Tapu Fini back there. But the Dragon Claw here is going to land. They can go for Shadow Ball, and they catch it on the Snorlax. What a beautiful swap by the opponent. You can see the frustration in the swipes right there. They're so annoyed. And now Scrafty in a position where they got to go for Power Up Punch, ramp up their damage, and farm down. But they also have to give up a shield against a superpower from a Shadow Snorlax. And it's a matter of if Snorlax can get to 2. That's the dangerous thing. So they're going to go ahead and look to no shield the body slam. What a call right there as they can fully counter down. That was a dangerous, dangerous call, but ultimately it paid off. We know Dragonite is coming back in right away. CMP tie right here. They're going to go ahead and give up that shield to stop whatever charge move. It is going to be Dragon Claw. So that foul play now could potentially KO. If they threw a superpower, it definitely KOs, but I think they actually hang on. Okay, yeah, no health. No, they don't hang on. It's going to be Cresselia in the back. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense why they really wanted to get rid of the Drapion, because they didn't really have a good answer, right? Snorlax and Cresselia. I mean, the best thing you can do is hit it with a neutral charge move. So Dragonite is basically your best bet, which is why saving shields here for Scrafty was the play. As Grass Knot gets no shielded right there. Remember, they still have Jellicent as well. So this is looking to be a good game. They can safely no shield and then come in with Jellicent here and look to go for Shadow Ball to close this game out, as the opponent will decide to surrender. So that is going to be a good battle. All right, moving to the next one, we got Drapion versus Scrafty here on the lead. So really tough lead, and ultimately a Pokemon that beats this whole team. I know it can beat itself, but it's just a matter of how much damage it can ramp up, right? So we're going to be seeing a power-up punch now come through. Drapion not too concerned. Sludge Bomb thankfully does a lot of neutral damage. So if you can get a shield here from Scrafty or get this thing low, it's going to be a lot more favorable for an endgame sweep of their own Scrafty. So here comes another charge move, Power-Up Punch. See, this is what's dangerous about Scrafty, is when it builds up that damage, right? And then it commits to the hard farm down right here like we are going to see. But this is what's also cool on the flip side with Drapion, is the Poison Sting energy gain is so good that it's going to be able to put pressure now and force the Scrafty to throw early, which is now going to allow them to come in and farm down with their own Scrafty and fully counter down. All right, let's see what's in the back. Okay, I was going to say it's a reverse fight. We got Drapion versus Scrafty again, but still a poison dark type. In this case, it's going to be Skuntank right here. And this is the exact same situation. Now, for Skunktank's situation, instead of Drapion, they're doing way more damage with the fast move. Poison Jab, especially from a Shadow Skuntank, is putting out way more pressure than a Poison Sting from Drapion. So this is looking to be a very interesting endgame. It could be anyone's battle, if I'm being honest. We see a swap out, and it's a Jellicent in the back, so it's basically a mirror team, just in different order. Right? They both have Scrafty, they both have Jellicent, and they both have a Poison Dark, which just goes to show why this combination can be so good, as they get a shield there with Power-Up Punch and now swap out to their own Jellicent, and this is where things get so dangerous. The mind games, as it is going to be a Shadow Ball, so that's a very good shield in terms of energy, and now they got to go for the Bubble Beam here, they got to go for the shield bait, and they need to get a shield from the opponent, because if they don't, this is looking tough. They do get the shield. Okay, so now this is a big turnaround. Remember, there's still the Skuntank in the back with some energy, so you got to watch out for that, as it probably will be able to get to a crunch here. And now they're going to go for a Shadow Ball, and the opponent cannot swap out in time, so the Shadow Ball is going to be landing. But is it going to be enough to KO? No, it is not enough. The Skuntank now comes in. They can't commit to the farm down. They're going to be forced to throw here, and now we're going to be seeing Scrafty come in and get that foul play off to close this game out, as they can counter down. Do they have Surf? They're going to go. Oh, no, they got a charge move. It's got to be Surf. It can't be Bubble Beam. Yeah, it's going to be Surf, so that's going to be a good game. Scrafty goes down right there. That was a close one. All right, moving to the next battle. We got Drapion versus Shadow Wallrain here on the lead. So kind of a tough matchup. Obviously, you need to watch out for Earthquake, as that's going to be the hard-hitting one-shot right here, the boom, as Crunch now going to be coming through. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a potential swap to catch the charge move. They do get a defense drop, because they might, yeah, did you guys see that click? They really wanted to go into the Jellicent, so they're going to go ahead and let it go through. It is going to be Icicle Spear And now they can swap into the Jellicent to catch the next charge move. And that was a beautiful catch right here because the Icicle Spear is going to be heavily resisted and they can start getting ahead on energy, and they draw out a Trevenant. Now, Trevenant here is still in a tough position where they have to throw a Shadow Ball. I mean, both moves, Seed Bomb and Shadow Ball, do super effective damage, but a Seed Bomb cannot KO from that range. So they have to throw the Shadow Ball, where Jellicent now can go for the Bubble Beam to force a shield, but the opponent doesn't shield. What a beautiful call right there, as they won't be able to get to the next Shadow Ball in time. The Jellicent won't, but Trevenant here opted to go for Seed Bomb, and it's not going to be enough to KO, so Jellicent able to hang on as they go for Shadow. That was interesting. They decided not to do any fast moves right there because it would cause a delay. Boom! One-shots the Trevenant as Shadow Wallrain now comes back in. So that was a high-level play. If you do a Hex fast move, you're going to go down to the Shadow Claws because of the timing. So instead, you just wait till you get really low and then throw the Shadow Ball. All right, so we see a Crunch now come through, gets a shield from Charizard. They get the defense drop as well. Charizard able to get to the Dragon Claw in time, but I think Drapion can hang on. We're going to see a no shield, risk it for the biscuit moment. They do hang on with 1 HP in a dream, as Crunch now going to be coming through, putting more pressure here on the Charizard to shield, and they get it. Charizard fully farms down. Scrafty coming in. Foul play. Will it be enough to KO? And this is the question. Is this a Dragon Claw or a Blast Burn? It's going to be a Dragon Claw, so Scrafty has to be careful. Uh-oh. Go Battle Lag striking. Uh-oh. This is not good. Is Charizard still in the game? No, the opponent swapped out into Wallrain instead, so they go for the foul play here. Weak connection all over the place, and now they got a counter down, but they get hit with an Icicle Spear, and I think this might be a good game. We don't know how much extra energy that Charizard got there during the lag, so they're going to go ahead and come back in, and yeah, they're going to get hit with the Blast Burn. Yeah, that is so unfortunate. Go Battle Lag. Took it right there. Yeah, this is Blast Burn. See ya. Boom. Now, if they didn't lag, I think they get the foul play off. I think they KO the Charizard, and I think they counter down the Wallrain. So that is unfortunate, but a good game either way. All right, another Wallrain here on the lead. So we saw what they wanted to do the last time they faced off against one. They really wanted to catch the charge move there on Jellicent. You can see from the tapping, right? The circles, when they come up or tapping, you can see that they try to go for Jellicent. So we'll have to see if we see it again. Here they go. They're tapping. There it is. There it is. There's the click. You see it. You can see them doing it. I do the same thing. So they're going to go ahead and no shield. It probably is going to be Earthquake right here as they loaded up on a lot of extra energy. But that is energy drained now instead of doing super effective damage against the Drapion. So Jellicent here, still in a good position. They might be weak in the back as they're deciding to go for double Earthquakes and not swapping out. They're clearly weak in the back, and they're going to go ahead and safely go for Shadow Balls now. So I'd be curious what is back there. It might be something weak to water, or it might be something weak to... It's going to be water. It's going to be Charizard, so they're going to go ahead and go for the Bubble Beam, and this is probably going to force a shield anyways, as they will respect the potential Surf, as they do get an attack drop, trying desperately to get to one more Bubble Beam in time, but they don't. Now, Charizard is the energy king of the Ultra League. If you let this thing get ahead, it is going to get, it's going to destroy some lines. This Blast Burn now gets shielded right there, and a Crunch coming through. So it's all a matter of what that third Pokemon is going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like Talonflame. I've seen this before, Wallrain Double Fire Flyer. So we'll have to see what it's going to be. If it is Talonflame, Scrafty's going to have a really tough time. As another Blast Burn lands, this is why Charizard can be so deadly. Crunch now coming through. I don't even think it's enough to KO, and Charizard might recognize that and look to no shield. Actually, no, it does KO. Who am I kidding? Okay, that was a misjudge on my end. That was a misjudge. That's okay. It's Swampert in the back. All right, we got something cooking here. Scrafty now needs to build up to that foul play, and they're going to go ahead and no shield the first Hydro Cannon. Weak connection coming through, but please hang on, Scrafty. They're going to go ahead and go straight foul play. This is better than going for power-up punch because the foul play, they only have one shield left. If it lands, you now can go for power-up punch, as we're going to see them going to go ahead and opt for that because they got so much free damage with foul play that power-up punches now are going to be forcing that shield, and they can safely farm down. Do you shield this one, though? They're going to go ahead and no shield it. This is a risky call. We know the Wallrain in the back has some energy, but I think this is still going to be a good... Yeah, they decided to surrender. That's going to be a good game. All right, moving to the next one. We got more. I think this is like a 30-minute video. We got more. Drapion versus Jellicent. Positive lead, positive team. Let's see how the opponent adjusts. They decide to go into their own skunk tank right here. So we're going to see a crunch come through, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Scrafty swap in. But ultimately, they necessarily don't have to. Okay, yeah, the Scrafty does come in, and they get a defense drop. That's huge here for them, as they now could potentially farm down. It's going to be tough. This skunk tank is pretty far ahead on energy. So let's see if they decide to go for power-up punch. Okay, they're going to go ahead. Double shield. That's going to hurt. Oh, they decided to let it go through. It's just a crunch. That's a huge call right there, as Jellicent now coming back in is going to get hit with the Dark Pain Train right here. As Foul Play now is going to be doing a ton of super effective damage. There's one. Here comes two. They can probably go for power. No, they're just going to go straight Foul Play. In these, I thought they might go for a cheeky power-up punch, but ultimately Foul Play is the right call. You want to put pressure, you want to get shields. The opponent is deciding to no shield, and a Gliscor now comes in, and this is where you could go for power-up punch to really get in your opponent's head, as we will see a shield right there. That's beautiful. Now they swap into Jellicent, and this is looking to be a good game. Yes, the Gliscor here has access to Night Slash, which does do super effective damage, but it's not enough to KO, and they can go for Bubble Beams to try to put some more pressure. Remember, they still have Drapion as well, and Scrafty. So this is, I mean, unless we see a boost here, which is always going to happen potentially with the Gliscor. Boosts are the deadliest thing probably to face off against, as they get a shield. All right, this Gliscor really wants to fish for that boost. Here comes another Night Slash, going to be taking out Jellicent. And let's see how they're going to play this game out. Do they get the boost? No, they don't. Drapion still healthy, still alive. We're probably going to see a swap out to catch the charge move, which they do, but thankfully this is a crunch. So I think this is Jellicent that swapped back in. Yeah, it's going to KO. And now we see the Gliscor come back in. And this Gliscor has to land an Earthquake in order to win. So let's see. They decide to shield. It is going to be the Earthquake. That's a huge shield right there, as they're now going to be forced to go for Crunch. You don't go for Sludge Bomb. It's a ground type there on Gliscor. Crunch not going to be enough to KO. Gliscor here gonna try to desperately get to the Earthquake. We see a swap out to catch the charge move on Scrafty. What a beautiful catch, as it is gonna be the Earthquake. Boom, down goes the Scrafty. In comes the Drapion, and that is gonna be a surrender, and that's gonna be a good game. All right, moving into the next one. We have Drapion on the lead versus Defense Form Deoxys. Okay, so Crunch here. Going to be doing some nice work, but obviously the counter damage is going to add up. But this is Defense Form Deoxys, so the damage output is not going to be too crazy, as we see a swap out now into what I believe was Wallrain. Excuse me. I saw the typing in the top. Yeah, it's Wallrain. So Scrafty's going to come in right away. They get the defense drop as well, which is huge. They can now, if they want to, just commit to the farm down, safely give up a shield. Okay, they're just going to let it go. They still have a good matchups in the back. Earthquake here, not going to be enough to KO, so they can fully counter down. And now they have foul plays for that Defense Form Deoxys. This poor thing is facing off against Crunch, Foul Play, and Shadow Ball, as Rock Slide is going to do nothing. Oh man, double Foul Play now ready to go, as Defense Form Deoxys needs to show what bulk it is capable of, because there is an onslaught of charge moves that is about to come through right here. So here's two Foul Plays. I don't think they get to a third. I don't think they'll get to it, but that is just so much damage. They now swap back into Drapion here to catch the charge move, saving Scrafty as a Rock Slide. Not going to do too much damage, and now things are looking tough. Defense Form Deoxys is going to go down unless they want to give up a shield, but I don't see why they would. Yeah, they're just going to let it go. Final Pokemon is going to be a Shadow Drapion, so this game is not over, and this is actually going to be a tough one to recover from. Jellicent is going to get destroyed. So they're going to go ahead and let the Crunch go through. They got to save shields for their Jellicent in order to win this game. And ultimately, we're probably going to see the opportunity of Bubble Beam debuffs come into play here, like we've seen before. When there's only one Pokemon left on the field, that Bubble Beam debuff, the attack debuff, is going to stick with you. You can clear your debuffs in Go Battle League by swapping out your Pokemon. So if you use a superpower, right, which lowers your attack and defense, and you swap out, that debuff is cleared. Or buffs, right? Power Up Punch, same thing. So we're going to see the swap now into Jellicent. They're behind on shields, but ultimately they're going to be able to go for Bubble Beams, which is what's going to win this game for them. This is crucial because it's going to be constantly lowering the attack, and the opponent like I just said, cannot clear those attack debuffs. It's stuck with it, which means Jellicent is just going to get tankier and tankier. They still have their Drapion. They still have Scrafty, which the counter damage might be worth keeping it alive, because they might be able to get 1 or 2 counters off, which ultimately at this health range is going to be probably enough to KO, especially after the subsequent Bubble Beams and Hexes. So they decide to let it go through. This is such a close battle. Drapion is desperately trying to get rid of this Jellicent, but it just can't seem to do it, as Bubble Beam is just constantly coming through. They can easily swap out if they want to, and they're going to go ahead and do it. They go back into their own Drapion. This poor Drapion on the other side is facing in a 1v3 Bubble Beam debuffs. Crunch, not enough to KO. Oh my goodness, they simultaneously KO right there, and that is going to be a good battle. What a fun battle right there. All right, we've got more. Here we go. We got Drapion versus Wallrain once again. So we know how they like to play this. They like to go for the crunch. They like to try to catch Earthquake there on Jellicent. And it's also a big read for whatever's in the back, as they might be weak. So here comes the crunch. Probably going to get no-shielded. And then let's see if they actually can catch the Earthquake this time. No, they cannot. They're going to go ahead and no-shield. I think that wasn't enough energy. Yeah, it is just going to be an Icicle Spear. So now they might go for the swap once again. They do get in the Jellicent, but the Wallrain is building up enough now where this could be an Earthquake, but Jellicent doesn't care. No care in the world, as Earthquake's not going to do that much damage, can easily survive, and we see a Virizion come in, a shiny one at that. Shadow Ball now looking really nice. They just have to watch out for those Leaf Blades, as it will do super effective damage. Now, Virizion, one of those kind of Pokemon where it just does so well against the meta, obviously needs to watch out for stuff like Charizard or Giratina Altered, but ultimately the moveset that it has is deadly against this team if it manages its energy well, which now it was forced to throw double Leaf Blade, which basically means it's energy dry, as they're going to come in with Drapion, and they have a Sludge Bomb ready to go, and this Sludge Bomb will KO. It is a part Grass-type Pokemon, Grass Fighting, so Sludge Bomb here gets boomed. Boom! See you, Virizion. We see the Wallrain come back in, so they're going to go ahead and go for another crunch, and then once again, I might not be surprised if we see a swap out here into Scrafty. Yep, they are going to swap. Another defense drop, as in comes a Cresselia, and this is looking to be a good, yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. Scrafty can just go straight foul plays, but they have to watch out for Moonblast. That can near one-shot because of the fighting dark typing here. So, was that enough energy? There was a lot of screen glitches. Yeah, there was enough energy. So they're going to go ahead and shield Moonblast and then try to take out this Cresselia. Now they go for power-up punches because the opponent needs to start fearing foul plays. And if they get a shield here, that is going to be beautiful. And they do. What a beautiful shield bait, I should say, as they're going to go ahead and shield the next potential Moonblast. And they honestly might want to swap out into Drapion, because Drapion here only takes neutral damage from Moonblast, whereas Scrafty needs to stay alive. And if they can catch this energy, let's see if they do it. They do. They do! Oh, the opponent held it right there, as they're going to try to desperately go for an Icicle Spear to take it out, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take out the Drapion, and they're going to go ahead and go down. Scrafty now has got to come in and farm down. Can it get a foul play, though? I don't think it has it. Moonblast! Is it going to one-shot? We're gonna find out. Cresselia, is it gonna one-shot? Oh no. No, it hangs on! One counter gets to the foul play, but is Cresselia bulky enough to survive? Yes, it survives! Oh, and a simultaneous KO! What? Is that the final battle? It's always the final battle. What a good set of battles right there. That was so much fun. I'm losing my voice now. Mispa 29, what a cool team. I'll go ahead and rewind it back so we can give some absolute love. Give some love down in the comments. Huge congrats on the leaderboard position. 3,300 rating. That's amazing. Beating Caleb. I know firsthand how good Caleb is. He's way better than me. Super good. But amazing battles. That was so much fun. Drapion, Scrafty, and Jellicent. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.